Gentlemen, just landed here in Los Angeles, California. Flew in this morning from Chicago. 3:30 Chicago time was a long time ago. So if I look a little bit tired, that's my excuse. But anyway, I just wanted to get on here and answer a quick question that I seem to be getting more and more on my Instagram, Facebook, and obviously here on YouTube. And that is, should I become a pilot? Should I continue my training in light of the current situation that we're in? And I wish I could just say yes, definitely, because I'm an optimist and also an aviation enthusiast, so that seems reasonable. But I do think it's something that we need to consider. It might be different for each individual person. And probably the number one thing that I would urge you to consider is, in answering this question for yourself, because I'm different than you, we're all unique and all have unique situations, is what was the primary reason for you getting into aviation to begin with? Did you just get into it because it's a cool, awesome job, which it is, and you wanted to look awesome? Or was it because pilots just make so much money that it was a monetary choice, and you're like, pilots have gobs and gobs, I don't even know what to do with all my money I have. Just kidding, guys. Or was it because you truly have a passion for aviation? And that's something that you have to consider, all right? If you got into it for other reasons, that doesn't make you a bad person. I mean, a lot of people work great jobs and work an honest living and do good, and that doesn't mean they have to have a passion necessarily for what they do. I do think that it helps in a big way in this industry, because this industry is not exactly like others. You have to put a lot of your body, soul, and effort into this career if you want it to work. This industry took a hit back in 9/11. This industry took another hit back in the financial crisis of 2008. And now the current situation that we're in with COVID is an ever-changing phenomenon. That being said, aviation, number one, flying will return. The aviation industry will bounce back just like it did before, okay? But perhaps you're one of those people that's like, you know what? I have to have that security. I couldn't be a captain and go back to being an FO. I couldn't go from having the seniority of having my weekends off and my holidays off to going back to working holidays and working weekends again. If that's something you just can't stomach and you just don't have that in you, then perhaps looking at a different career might be the best choice for you. Or if you're just starting down the road of learning to fly, you might think, maybe I'll just fly for fun on the side and it's not something I want to do for a career. That's a choice that you have to make. But if you don't have passion as one of your primary elements, then it's going to be difficult, because aviation gives you a lot. It also takes a lot from you, okay? It's going to take a lot of your time away from your family. It's going to take a lot of time away from your weekends and holidays and friends and social events. But that being said, I think totally what you get from it gives you such great value that it's well worth the sacrifices made. That's my personal opinion. Okay, that's not for everybody though. All right, so number one though, I want us to realize flying will return. And when it does, the pilot shortage we were in before COVID is going to come back even stronger than ever. Why do I say that? Because I'm talking thousands of pilots have taken early retirement to avoid furloughs in their company. And thank you so much for the guys that retired probably before what they had planned on, but had the financial means to do so and helped other people save their jobs. How unselfish of you. You are rock stars. And I have friends that are beneficiaries of that. So thank you very much. That being said, even if travel returns back to just where it was before COVID, meaning people just travel just as much as they did before COVID, which obviously as the population grows, the industry will grow. Not in a massive way, but it slowly grows more and more. Okay? That means that the shortage we were in before is actually going to be larger, because now we're thousands of pilots short via the forced retirements of people having to do forced retirement at 65 via health concerns or issues that people have and they retire out. And now with the massive amount of people that didn't have to retire for medical reasons or for age reasons, but just chose to retire because this was an opportunity for them to kind of give back to their industry. They had the ability to do so. Okay? That's going to leave a huge vacuum of more pilots needed, which is good news for us and good news for those people that are looking to do this for a career, maybe just finishing their training, just about to start their training, and that's how it is. I wish I could, and I'm going to put some links into the facts and figures below. I'm not going to give exact numbers of how many different retirements in each airline because they're ever changing. I mean, changing by massive, like hundreds and hundreds, so I don't even want to go down that road, okay? Number 2 thing is don't let fear guide you, okay? I have some acquaintances, and back in 9/11, when things were going bad, obviously I was just a little kid, but they told me the story of like back when they were in flight training during that time, and they said, you know what? We kind of let fear guide us a little bit. I was in flight training with good friends, everything else, having a good time, and I decided to jump careers. I did that. I work a fine job. It's an honest living. I have a fine life. All the friends that I was in flight training with that decided to continue, they're all at major airlines, working great corporate jobs, and living their passion, really enjoying life. They said, take it as a grain of salt, share it with your fans as necessary, okay? So just consider that, all right? You could choose to just work a normal job, and that's fine. If anybody chooses to do that, that's great. But I'd hate for you to make a choice out of fear and lose out on the real career that you wanted, the career that you really had a passion for. So it's something to consider. That brings me to my 3rd point, though. Definitely consider your options. Where are you in your flight training? If you're just starting out, probably by the time you get all your certificates and you get your flight time, COVID's going to be way over and you're going to hit the industry at the hiring swing up. Your seniority is going to just skyrocket. Okay. If you're right now just finishing your training and looking to get that time building job, things are going to be a little bit tougher for you, and that brings us to the next point. That is the number 4. You got to think outside the box. You got to think outside the box. In other words, you might not be able to find that job where you're working full-time as an aviator at first. You might have to work a part-time job, flight instruct on the side, do a little bit of flying on the side, build those hours part-time, okay? Other people thinking outside the box might be, you know what, aviation's not for me. I'm going to do it as a part-time gig, or I'm going to just do it as a hobby. Each one of those things might be different for other people. But I want us all to realize a lot of people, for some reason, get stuck on airline only, and I love the airlines. I spent 3 years at the airline, and I enjoyed every moment. It was a great experience for me. I know some people don't have that experience. It was good for me. I got an even better offer flying corporate, and my quality of life is fabulous, and I have no complaints. But there's other options out there besides even airline and corporate. There's cargo flying, there's flight instructing that some people, I have some friends that they love flight instructing so much, they're like, this is what I'm going to do the rest of my life. There's nothing wrong with that. Survey work, there's Border Patrol, police agencies that hire pilots. So don't just get stuck on one thing. Be willing to think outside the box, all right? And then number 5, be prepared, okay? So if you just give up on your training and then all of a sudden you want to get back into aviation when the industry starts to boom and you're not prepared for it, you might miss out on a really fabulous and fantastic job, okay? Number 6 thing, network. Network. I cannot emphasize how important it is to have a good social media presence that shows professionalism and shows a passion for what you want to do. And then number 7, I would say go the extra mile, but never lower your standards to do so. What do I mean by that? I'm all for going above and beyond in whatever career you have chosen. And in aviation, I think it's so important to go above and beyond for the people, for safety, for the industry as a whole, okay? But that doesn't mean lowering your standards. That doesn't mean taking a job where maybe the maintenance on the aircraft is kind of sketch. That doesn't mean taking a job where you kind of push the envelope of being on the edge of fatigue quite a bit. That doesn't mean pushing to the point where you're really working for less than what you should be. Okay? Some people get desperate. They're like, I might not have another opportunity to get paid to fly, so I'll just take anything. I'll fly whatever, I'll get paid whatever, and I'll get misused and abused, and they think that they're going above and beyond. That's not what going above and beyond. In fact, that's putting yourself in a dangerous situation, and it's also lowering the standard in the industry, which doesn't do any good for anybody. Go above and beyond, but never lower your standards. So, should you continue your flight training? That's up to you. It's really how you responded to, why did I start down this road? Why did I start researching this? Why did I start my training in the first place? If you still have that desire, if you still have that passion, you're going to find a way to make it work. If that means waiting tables or having a part-time job, doing construction on the side for a while to make your dream come true, I'd say go for it. I started out that way. I started out being a plumber and a pipe fitter, paid for all my flight training and did that on the side until I was able to get the hours and experience and get the opportunity to be chosen to fly full time. And I can tell you, I still pinch myself sometimes. I'm sitting in the airplane, flying along at thousands of feet, at hundreds of miles an hour, and thinking, oh my goodness, I get paid to do this. It's fabulous. It's fantastic. But there are some ups and downs. The industry has that. There are going to be some challenges. But remember, flying's going to return. Don't let fear guide you. Definitely consider your options. Not knocking that at all. All right? Be willing to think outside the box. Be prepared when that opportunity comes. Network. And definitely go the extra mile. But don't go lowering your standards. All right, everybody. Hopefully this video was a help. If you have any questions for me, specifically about anything that you think I might be able to help you with, I'll definitely try my best to answer every single question in the comments below. If you have not already, make sure to subscribe to the video, hit that little alerts button so you can be alerted when new videos are coming out, and smash that thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Looking forward to talking to you guys later. The next video is not going to just be me sitting here boring, talking in a hotel room. It'll be in the airplane.